Biz son raporumuzda, yani yarı yıl ve çeyrek raporumuzda şuna baktık. Yatırım alan startup kurucuları kimler? Ve %30 oranında kadın kurucu ortak gördük. Yani 2024 yılı içerisinde yatırım alan startupların %30'u kadın kurucu ortaklı. Daha da detayına baktık. Bu kadınların %50'sine yakınının yapay zeka startup'ı var. Ve bu benim için en güzel verilerden bir tanesi oldu. Avrupa'da bu oranlar gerçekten çok daha düşük. Kadın kurucu ortak sayısı da 9 ile 15, %9 ile 15 arasında değişiyor. Ülkemizde gerçekten çok harika bir potansiyel var. Umarım ki bundan bir sonraki zirvede %50'lerden bahsediyor oluruz kadın kurucu ortaklar için ve yapay zeka alanında tabii ki. Şimdi tam da bunu destekleyecek bir panelimiz var. Kadın liderlerin yapay zeka alanında geleceği nasıl şekillendireceğinden bahsedeceğiz. Panelimiz Female Pioneers in AI, Innovating the Future. Değerli panelistlerimizi sırayla çağırmak istiyorum. Ford Otosan Veri Platformu ve Otomasyon Lideri Alev Kılıç Özdemir. Alan Turing Enstitüsü'nde Kamu Politikası Programı, Proje eş lideri ve Araştırma Görevlisi Erin. Hoş geldiniz. Ve panel moderatörlüğünü gerçekleştirecek Vector Institute Yapay Zeka Profesyonel Gelişim Direktörü Sedef Akinli Kocak. Hoş geldiniz. Buyurun, sahne sizin.
Hello everyone. Merhaba. İyi öğleden sonraları diliyorum sizlere. Panelimiz İngilizce devam edecek. Hello Erin. Hello Alev. Welcome. So thank you very much for joining us today. So we heard about the recent report about like a woman founders, knowing that it's amazing that you know, so many women founders in Turkey. So I hope that it will increase. There are so many reports have been done so far. So we're going to talk about what are the barriers for women in this AI field and how those women are coping with those barriers, and you know, what are the opportunities and risks for those women, and then especially like a diversity. What does it mean in diversity in AI fields? So we're going to talk about those ones. So as it was mentioned, I have two brilliant women besides me. So we're going to talk about. So Alev Kılıç Özdemir, Data Platform and Automation Leader at Ford Otosan, Türkiye. Welcome. And then I have Dr. Erin. She's a public policy project co-lead and research fellow at Alan Turing Institute, the UK. So I'll do a little bit of staging at the beginning, and then I'll move on to our questions. So we're gonna, you know, discuss a lot of things. So as we know, that technology and AI are a huge part of our daily life, and they influence how we talk each other, how we learn, how we work, how decisions are made. So in many ways, the technology sector shapes our society more than anything else today. So, but there is a problem, like more than a problem, there's a challenge. So AI tools and technologies don't always reflect the diversity of the world that we live in. So how can we turn this into, you know, the more diverse systems, and what can we do? How can we support each other as a woman, or how can we support our companies and academics and so on? So we're going to talk about those ones. So before we talk about, I'll just give you some numbers. I'm a engineering by design. So I would like to talk about numbers. So some of you might be familiar with a recent AI Index Report 2024. Those index report is usually released by Stanford University. And, but this year, exclusively, they used different data points around the world. They use Informatic Europe, and they also use Women in Machine Learning workshop at NeurIPS. NeurIPS is the world's biggest machine learning conference. Some of you may be familiar with. And some of those reports found out that in North America, the percentage of female computer science bachelor's graduates reached to 22%, and continuing a decade-long rise, and on the other hand, to 22% of PhD graduates are in AI and computer science and computer engineering are women. So we see it was around like a 18-19% a few years ago, but we see a little bit progress on that one, which is great. So I also need to talk about a little bit of UNESCO. UNESCO recently released a recommendation of ethics and AI report, and within this report, they mentioned that the specific action needs to be done to increase diversity in AI field, especially when they're developing the tools and when they deployment those AI tools. So we are very familiar with those gender gap within this field. So I would like to start with the barriers for women, and I would like to ask my first question to Alev. In your opinion, what are the key barriers that prevent women from advancing the leadership role in AI field especially? And how can companies, corporates, and academic institutions support women's career progression in the AI field?
Thank you for having me, first of all. I'm very happy to be here with you today with great women. Thank you for that question. I believe, from my perspective, several key barriers continue to limit women from advancing to leadership roles in AI. And these barriers can reinforce one another. One major obstacle is the limited representation of women in the foundational stages of the AI talent pipeline, such as computer science and engineering programs, which directly impacts the number of women qualified to enter AI roles. Although more women are entering these roles, unconscious biases and the lack of female role models in leadership make it harder, for women to see and reach senior positions. In many corporate environments, women also face barriers with, such as limited access to high-value projects or mentorship opportunities that are often crucial for career progression. Additionally, the lack of flexible working policies can particularly impact the women balancing, professional and personal commitments, and potentially preventing them from pursuing more demanding leadership roles. To address these challenges, I believe companies and academic institutions should take a proactive approach. For instance, companies can establish mentorship and sponsorship programs specifically designed to support women, providing them access to leaders, networks that will help them advance. Additionally, implementing fair and transparent processes for selecting individuals for high-impact projects can ensure women have equal opportunities to demonstrate their capabilities. Academic institutions play a crucial role as well, encouraging more women to pursue AI and related fields through scholarships or supportive learning environments can help increase the diversity of the talent pool. Finally, all these efforts, I believe, require a commitment from leaders across the board. And by actively supporting women's career progression and creating structures that promote inclusively, we can help close the gender gap in AI leadership.
That's great. Thank you so much, Alev. I think what I'm hearing is that, yes, like a leadership commitment is a key, because at the end of the day, the budget is there, so then they're the one who needs to support. And talent pipeline is important. We always said that, the AI talent is scarce. So we need to make sure that, we have a right support for diversity, especially for women who would like to enter this space. But they are having lots of barriers because they feel that they need a technical background, which is not true. Especially in this field, we need a lot of subject matter experts. Yes, we need a technical background experts, we need programmers, we need computer science and engineers and scientists and whatnot, but we also need lawyers, we also need psychologists, we also need social workers, we also need doctors and all these fields. So because AI is a team support, so without thinking this as a team, so we won't be able to move forward. So within the team, of course, we need to think about the diversity. So thank you so much, Alev. So I would like to ask you the next question to you, Erin. So I know that you have done so much within this space and a lot of work that you're doing exploring what women's career look like in AI field. So could you please tell us a little bit of how is your work and what did you find, and especially what could be done to advance women's representation in AI?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. Very excited to be here on such a brilliant panel as well. So we know some high-level figures, as you were saying at the beginning, about the numbers of women working in these fields, maybe about 32% of the workforce globally. But to be honest, we don't really know much more. So we decided that in order to think about the kinds of initiatives that will help advance women's careers in this area, we first need to understand more about women's careers and what's actually happening at a granular level. So we explored a cross-country data set. We partnered with an industry partner in the UK to look at career data on individuals working in data science and AI. We found that there was persistent structural inequality in the AI and data fields, with professional careers between men and women looking very different. So men's and women's careers look very different across the AI and data fields. Firstly, we found that women are more likely than men to occupy what we often would see as kind of lower status and lower pay roles, kind of at the beginning of the pipeline around data preparation, data analytics, and that men are more likely to hold what we might sometimes term as the kind of frontier roles in machine learning, for example, that we most often talk about when we're talking generally about AI. We also found that women in AI and data science leave the field, as you were mentioning, Alev, at much greater rates than men. And this happens both through higher turnover, so they're much more likely to change job roles within the field, but also attrition. Women are much more likely to leave their careers in AI altogether, which, as you said, means that women aren't moving their way up the career ladder. They're not advancing to leadership positions, to C-suite positions. They're not getting board seats at the same rates as men. What can we do to solve this, or at least move this forward? There's a lot that both business and government can be doing. As Alev said, proactively. I think that's the key here, proactive initiatives. Firstly, we need to be constantly thinking how to embed inclusion in our workplaces. So this is perhaps through flexible working options for carers, domestic caring commitments, making sure we're assessing recruitment and promotion practices, that they're fair, and mentoring schemes are also very helpful for this. Outside of the workplace as well, making sure that women have access to the same kinds of networks as men as well is incredibly important. And then thirdly, offering access to upskilling and reskilling initiatives. So as you were saying, we sometimes think that to work in the AI field, you have to have a technical background. We know that absolutely isn't the case. And so women working in non-technical careers should be able to have access through business or government initiatives to reskill into technical careers and take these places at the forefront of the AI fields.
Well, that's great. Thank you so much. Like, upskilling is really important, because I'm going to tell you a story, actually like a success story from Vector Institute. Past 2 years, I've been leading a professional development team at Vector, and then we started, we see that there are lots of women who are maternity leave. The woman, when they have a baby, they took a year or so to take care of their babies, or the toddlers and whatnot. And then when they go back to their careers, their jobs, so then things are much more advanced, so they need to catch up quickly, and then they can't, and then they leave their job, or they pursue different careers. So we see this as a challenge, and then we started a program called Mothers and Machine Learning, and then the second year we call, and more broadly, Caregivers and Machine Learning. And then this is a machine learning program for caregivers and for women who are in the maternity leave. And then we run this program for 2 years to upskill those women who are in the maternity leave. And when they go back to their, companies, or when they change their jobs, so then they can have a head start. And then when we run this program for 2 years, and then when we close this program, and then we run a survey study, and then we found out that 20% of those women who took this program have been either promoted or changed their career and get more aggressive or more technical career or more advanced career in the field, in different field, or in their organization. So it was amazing to see that, how upskilling could help actually women. So we need to definitely put a lot of effort on upskilling and bringing networking opportunities to those women. So now I'd like to shift our gear a little bit to talk about the opportunities and inclusive networking environment within the corporate environment. And as a leader in the Turkish automotive industry and a champion of women's employment, so we know that Ford Otosan has earned a place in the Bloomberg Gender Equality Index in 2023, which is great. Congratulations to Ford Otosan. And this recognition is given to companies for their transparency, gender-based data reporting, and for their effort to improve opportunity, representation, and equality in the workplace. So we know that, Alev, you lead the initiative related to AI within the Ford Otosan. So my question is to you is, how does having a diverse team influence the development and implementation of AI solutions, specifically at Ford Otosan?
First of all, your story is very impressive, really. I guess it's a great opportunity for the women in maternity leave to change their roles after they leave, right?
Yes.
Maybe that's why. Okay, that's a great question. At Ford Otosan, having a diverse team is essential for developing robust and innovative AI solutions. First of all, my team is more occupied with women, especially data science roles, and data science and data analysis roles are occupied by women engineers. Furthermore, 60% of the leaders reporting to me are women as well. So diversity in perspectives, whether it's through gender, backgrounds, or expertise, it plays a critical role, I believe, in the way we approach problem solving and decision making. When teams are diverse, they are more likely to consider a broader range of potential impacts, which is essentially important in AI, because ethical and practical considerations are closely connected. So one specific example I can give is the predictive maintenance solutions for our production lines. We develop predictive maintenance solutions. By involving a diverse team, I mean, we involve both data scientists, operational experts, men and women, doesn't matter, from different backgrounds. So we were able to design a more holistic solution that not only improved the production efficiency, but also the enhanced safety. And each team member brought their unique ideas, whether it was on the ground operational knowledge or data modeling knowledge, different perspectives. So the collaborative diversity helped us, to address changes we might have overlooked maybe with a more homogeneous team, ultimately leading a better predictive accuracy and reliability in our maintenance processes. And one of the other examples is related with the customer analytics insights. We have a dedicated team for customer analytics, where we leverage the AI to better understand and find solutions for our customers. Involving a cross-functional team with a diverse mix of individuals helped us to avoid biases, because it can sometimes arise in AI models. we ensure that our algorithms are fair, reflective of the full spectrum of our diverse customer base. So this led us more accurate, of course, insights and stronger connections with our clients as well. So all these examples illustrate us diversity isn't just a checkbox for us, but it is the part of our core strategy at Ford Otosan. And embracing diversity enables us to develop AI in a way that truly reflects the complexities of the real-world applications.
That's great. It's a great example. Thank you very much for sharing. I really like your perspective on diversity. It's not only the checkbox. Yeah. So we usually think about those kind of concepts like a diversity, ethics, and sustainability even. So after the fact, unfortunately. So what we need to do is we need to think about those concepts at the beginning of the AI life cycle. So when you're doing your project ideations, you need to think about what kind of data that you're using. Is there any bias considerations and ethical considerations from the beginning when you're doing the ideation? And then move on to the collection of the data. Yes, you need to put all of these frameworks together. And then when you're training your models, again, you need to think about all of these in each of the steps of the AI lifecycle. So this is really important, and thank you very much again for sharing. So my next question is to Erin. Given your work at the intersection of technology, society, and policy, and how do you believe the diversity among, let's say, AI researchers and developers or engineers impact the development of responsible AI? And how might women's underrepresentation shape the technology, let's say, itself?
Thank you. Yeah, it's essentially exactly what you were just saying. So it's making sure that we're paying attention to this across the entire AI design, development, adoption, diffusion life course. So it's about the underrepresentation of women working in AI governance, but also about the limitations, perhaps, of the data we're using to train models. Within this kind of broader field of AI ethics and safety, we're seeing examples of bias being built into AI systems, creating these harmful feedback loops that oftentimes are much more likely to present harms to the groups which haven't been fairly represented in their creation. And so, just to remind ourselves, technology isn't neutral or objective. It's shaped very much by the people that are building the systems and around their choices and the kind of value systems they hold as they build these systems. It's never about an intention to harm. It's really integral to the kind of way in which AI is structurally created. We've seen a growing number of examples of biased AI or models exhibiting biased outputs over the last few years, particularly with the advent of generative AI. Just to give a few examples, but I have a lot more here. We've seen a large tech retailer's platform for hiring downgrade scores for applicants with signifiers of female gender on their CV. So for example, if they went to a women's college or perhaps played tennis for a women's team, so they'd be much less likely to be chosen for the role. We've seen a credit card company give higher credit limits to men than to women with better credit scores. They were using an automated system. In healthcare, we've seen models which are built to predict liver diseases. They found to be twice as likely to miss the disease in women compared to men. And once again, I should add, this isn't malicious. This isn't done on purpose. This is just a result of the data that the models are being trained on, the teams that are building the models. We've also seen, for example, outside of the bias piece, where AI systems have been used by bad actors in malicious ways, particularly targeting women, for example, deepfakes, whether that's video, photos, much more likely to harm women than men.
Yeah. Perfect, thank you. I want to go back to the intentional harm. So we always have this discussion around, like, of course, like the system bias or data bias and whatnot, and then controversially, yes, like humans are itself also like a bias when we do like some decisions. Yes, we do have a bias, but when you think about like AI system, the harm is more scalable than one or two people are hiring committee, other than using like automated system within the like hiring process. So this is something to consider. So I know we are a little bit over time, so I would like to close this panel with one last round of questions. And this question for you both, and what kind of advice that you would like to give to women, or to this ground, to say, who are interested in pursuing career in AI?
The most important question, right? Okay, my advice to women interested in AI is first and most important, to believe in your unique strengths and perspectives. AI is an incredibly diverse field, with opportunities spanning data science, engineering, ethics, policy, and beyond. So there is a wide room, for wide range of skills and experiences. Your perspective is valuable, and it can bring much needed diversity to AI, which leads us, more developed, more balanced and effective solutions. Another piece of advice is actively look for mentors and build a strong support network. Because mentors can be male and female, it doesn't matter, but they can provide guidance. They can share insights and open doors to new opportunities. I have found that having a network of supportive colleagues, or mentors is essential for career growth and navigating challenges. And the other one is that don't hesitate to take on high value projects, even if they seem challenging, because mostly they are the one that have most significant growth and visibility. Yeah. So if there are some areas in AI that you are significantly interested in, invest some time, building some specialized skills, whether through online courses, research, or hands-on projects. And lastly, remember that you have a voice, and your ideas matter. AI needs more diverse voices, really, to shape its future responsibly. And take pride in what you bring to the table, and remain curious. It's very important. This field is fast evolving indeed, and our continuous learning and unique contributions can make a meaningful impact in AI.
Totally agree, and thank you so much for sharing. And Erin?
I'll keep it very short because Alev, you put that much more eloquently than I would ever be able to, but everything you just said. And just don't be afraid to just keep learning. I think learning constantly is so important. AI capabilities are scaling and advancing so rapidly that whoever it is that keeps learning at the forefront of these developments is the person that is going to succeed. And believe in yourself, obviously, always key.
Yes. Yeah, this is the key. Like, believing in yourself is literally key. And I did my PhD when I was like a 33, and it was always my dream. And then I did mine, and always keep learning. So this should be your motto, not only like a woman's, but also a man's as well. Like, don't be scared. And yes, so we need a very diverse settings in corporate, in academic, and all part of our lives. So this is how we shape the AI field. So thank you very much for your interest and then sharing your valuable insight. And I would like to have like a round of applause to our valuable panelists.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you very much for sharing with us. Teşekkürler.
Teşekkür ederim.
Çok ilham verici bir paneldi. Çok da güzel tavsiyeler aldık ve şüphesiz ki hem kurumsal firmalarda hem startup kurucuları tarafında yazılım, AI, machine learning alanlarında çok daha fazla kadınla karşılaşmayı umuyoruz.